So Victor Gyokeres chose Arsenal over Manchester United. He actually made Arsenal his preferred football club to join come next season. And Manchester United all along has been interested in landing the player. So if you ask me how I felt before now I've been optimistic. I've been hopeful that Manchester United will be signing Victor Gyokeres before this news came out that Gyokeres has chosen Arsenal over Manchester United. So it is actually heartbreaking. The same thing that happened when Manchester United wanted to land in Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Actually, Manchester United had a deal. They have already arrived at a conclusion with Barcelona, but de Jong didn't want to join Manchester United. So that was how that deal went off. That was how the deal wasn't brokered at all between Manchester United and Barcelona. So my advice to Man U is this: Manchester United should not really pursue signing Victor Gyokeres because that was the exact thing that happened when they wanted to land in Frankie de Jong from Barcelona, and then he didn't want to join. Then at the end of the season, at the end of the summer, it was just a total waste of time. So Man U should just withdraw their interest from the player now that it's still early for them to do so. So I'm not really happy that Man United will not really be signing Victor Gyokeres, but the hopes is still alive. The hope there is still alive because Benjamin Sesko too is also on the watch list of Arsenal. So if it happens that Arsenal makes their choice and then they land in Benjamin Sesko, it then means that Man United will then have the light opportunity of signing Victor Gyokeres. That is if they will have a change of mind. Because like I said in my previous video, that it is only few players that will agree to join Manchester United. Like individually ambitious players will not actually want to join Manchester United because there is no European competition for them next season. And if Manchester United will be embarking on European competition, I'll say yes, that the chances of them landing him is there. But like this, that Man United will only be restricted to English football. It is an issue. It is a limitation of their chances to sign players next season. So I'm not really surprised that Victor Gyokeres had to turn down Manchester United interest. But the funny thing here is that he's actually choosing Arsenal over Manchester United. Like the gap between Manchester United and Arsenal is not all that wide. Come next season, the only difference between Man U and Arsenal is that Arsenal will be having an European tournament. The Manchester United will not be having an European tournament. So Victor Gyokeres making a preference on Arsenal over Manchester United is what baffles me. It actually surprises me though, but that is football, you know. Manchester United, they actually had a poor season, like a terrible season, a horrible season, like the worst season in the history of Manchester United. They had it in this concluded season. So if they actually fail to sign many ambitious players, I can understand why it is happening so. And then it is very, very bad. It is very, very appalling that Victor Gyokeres has refused to be part of that Man United team that will build Man United back into participating in Champions League. It is so bad. So now that it is like this, what way should Man U follow now? What is the way ahead? Which road should Manchester United follow in terms of securing a striker? Because Rasmus Højlund is a striker that they cannot continue with. If actually he will be remaining in the club, he will be coming as a backup striker. As a young player that he is, he's supposed to be learning, supposed to have an older player, a more experienced player that he can be learning from. And then not him, a 22 years or 23 years old striker being a starter for a big club like Manchester United. So that is the issue now. If Peter Gyokeres turns down Manchester United, then Manchester United will have to continue. They will have to move on to secure other players or other strikers. So which striker do you think that Manchester United should go for now? Let for me, I have two options in my strikers wants for Manchester United. Number one, we have Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen right now is on the low deal at Galatasaray. Then the possibility of him staying there is also there. Then the possibility of Manchester United landing him is also there, depending on how Manchester United wants it. Because what stopped Victor Osimhen from joining Chelsea is actually their inability to arrive at a wage conclusion. Osimhen wanted a massive pay. but Chelsea is not really willing to offer it. So if any other club should make a huge bid of Victor Osimhen, the possibility of him joining the club is there. If Manchester United can really pay him his asking amount, Manchester United will then have the chances of signing him. That's just the issue. But if Manchester United fails to do that, that is where they will not be able to land him. They might not really succeed in landing him there. And in that conversation, for Manchester United to be successful in landing Victor Osimhen, they will have to include Garnacho into the deal. Yes, they should bring in Garnacho to carry out a proper negotiation with Napoli for Manchester United to sign Victor Osimhen, because Napoli some time ago declared their interest in signing Garnacho. So Garnacho is now an instrument that they can use to attract Victor Osimhen. With being able to fulfill the wage demand of Victor Osimhen, they can bring him down to the club. So that is one striker that I really want Manchester United to go for right now, that Gyokeres has declared his non-interest in the club. Then the other one list, they have Ekitike from Frankfurt. In that striker, I'm not really all that cool with him because he gives me a kind of a second version of Rasmus Højlund. Yes, second version of him. He hasn't done much in Frankfurt. So Manchester United bringing him is where I still have my question mark. But all the same, he might still join the club and then you see him performing wonders. Manchester United, by all means, should do the much they can to secure a striker because the resources of getting striker is there already. Manchester United this season has dropped. Come next season, will be without many players. Player like Johnny Evans, player like Ericsson, player like Lindelof. So in the absence of these players, that money that they have been using to pay these players can be used to pay the new striker that might come in, probably Victor Osimhen, that has a high wage demand. That money can be used to settle them. The one that is coming from Ericsson not being in the club again, Lindelof not being in the club again, and even John Evans not being in the club again. Because these players will be leaving, and then Manchester United has no plan of getting their replacements. So Manchester United fans, between Victor Osimhen and Ekitike, which of them do you think that Manchester United should go ahead and make the signing? Let me know your opinion in the comment section, and at the same time, share this video.